Hello, America. I just wanted to put the recent COVID relief bill into perspective. Don't focus on the messenger, focus on the message. So, you don't get to see my beautiful face, but you get to listen to my wonderful voice. We need to really take a hard look at what just happened here. Congress was trying to pass this COVID relief bill. And if you notice, the mainstream media has been calling it a $900 billion bill. And yet it's a 2.3 trillion with a T dollar bill. And there is a huge difference between those two numbers. We're going to give our money away to all kinds of foreign countries and all kinds of nonsensical things like gender reassignment in Pakistan and basically try to turn the whole world into a safe space with our money. But let's just understand what happened here. Congress wanted to give half of America, because not everybody would have received the $600 check, which, by the way, I will remind you, was our money to begin with. So they wanted to give us, or half of us, $600 of our own money back. Certainly that might help a few people, but really it isn't going to help many, most especially because of the loss of jobs and bills coming due for the last 10 months now to flatten the curve, which was supposed to be 2 weeks. But I digress. That's not the important part. The important part is to see the flim-flam here, is to see the shell game, is to see the nonsense, because no one seems to be doing the math. If you do the math, Congress handing out $600 to half of our citizens puts all of our citizens on the hook, meaning all Americans, if this bill had flown, and there will be another one, and it will be bigger than this one, but if this bill had gone through, then every American would have owed $6,969.69. So here's $600, half of America. Now all of America, including the people that we gave the $600 to, owes $6,969 with 69 cents change. That doesn't sound exactly like a great deal. And I don't think anybody that I know would take a loan out for $600 and owe $7,000. And yet that's what Congress just tried to do. I'm not making this up. You can get a calculator or, perhaps do it online. There's online calculators available. And just type it in. Ask it what 2.3 trillion divided by 330 million, because that's generally our population, 330 million citizens. And you'll get that number, because that's what we would be on the hook for. I think we have much bigger problems than COVID. I've been trying to point this out and show you what the government's doing. They're trying to bankrupt us, guys. Wake up, grow up, figure out what's going on here. It's pretty obvious. They're trying to rob us. They're not giving us money. They're taking money from us. They're putting us on a hook that we can't get off. And they're going to collapse the entire economy, and then they'll offer the solution. This is the Hegelian dialectic playing out in front of our very eyes. They create the problem, we all react, and then they offer the solution. And of course, the solution is not going to benefit us, it's going to benefit them. They need to crush America so they can bring in their communist one world, great reset, new world order agenda, the Agenda 2030, the Agenda 21 of the United Nations, so they can have a one world government controlling everybody. They're bringing the first world down, they're bringing the third world up. They're making everybody meet in the middle and synchronize so that they can take control. And financially, that's the biggest hurdle for them, and they're doing a great job. And I see people that are arguing that they want their $600. $600 isn't going to change your life, most especially in these times. But you ought to be a little bit more aware of how much you're going to owe. And this is added on top of all the other money and all the other debt. We're already over $30 trillion in debt. Our GDP isn't even paying the interest on the money that's being loaned to us. Our national debt is 2 to 3 times what our GDP is, what our gross domestic product is. We are in the red, and we've been in the red now for a decade, and I don't hear a peep from most people. It's crickets. Wake up, grow up. This is leading us right down into a pit of despair that we will never be able to get out of, and we will be dependent on them offering us the solution, and then everybody will be carted off and pushed into these little smart growth cities, these plandopolises. You'll be living in a 12 by 12 box. You'll be sucking protein goop out of the wall for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You'll have plenty of fluoridated water, though. Don't worry about that. You'll have a short elevator ride down to your busy work job where you press buttons or do something ridiculous like Winston did in 1984. And you'll be happy with your servitude. And if you're not happy with your servitude, or the Starbucks or the mini Walmart that's at the first floor of your smart growth building, and you speak out against them, then they're just going to shut off your chip. They're going to turn off your money. They're going to unperson you. No one's going to want to talk to you. In fact, it's going to be the exact same way that you have been treating people like myself who are trying to wake you up this whole time for the last couple of decades. While we try to sound the alarm and wake you up, you ignore it. It's cognitive dissonance. It's ignorant apathy. You don't want to hear it, and you want to stay away from the tinfoil hats. You want to stay away from the crazy guys. Well, it's here now, people, and you're going to get that same treatment or else. Because if you speak out once this all comes down, once you're in one of these smart growth type buildings, you don't have any other options. You can't speak out. They just unperson you and you're done. You become outcast. They put you in a grinder and feed you back to everybody like Soylent Green. Or they just outcast you and they throw you out in the wilderness with nothing, and good luck. Now, actually, I would enjoy that, but I don't know that we're going to be that lucky that they'll just throw us out of their community. But I'm telling you, folks, this is what the Great Reset is all about. If you haven't researched any of this, they have websites. They're telling you to your face what they want to do, and it's not good. It's world communism. You'll have no more sovereignty. We will no longer be American, and we'll be ruled by some bureaucrat somewhere that will never be able to really get anything done. If you don't like how things are going right now, when you buy a product and you can't get a hold of anybody to talk to and it's all automated, that's what your government is going to be. It's almost there now, and it's about to become so much that you can't talk to a person, and you'll have no one to complain to. So it's time to grow up, folks. It's time to wake up. It's time to start talking to strangers, and it's time to start realizing that government is not representing us, and that is their job. They're supposed to be representatives, and if you haven't noticed, they're just called lawmakers now, and you just follow their laws, you just follow their rules, you just follow their regulations, and you be a good slave and live on your knees. Well, that's not for me. I don't want any of that, and I don't know anybody that does. If you're honest with yourself, you won't want it either. Oh, it seems nice, they're going to offer you some things about equality and all of this nonsense, until you realize we're all equal. We're all poor. We're all slaves. If that's what you want, then it's here. If you don't want that, then it's time to stand up right now.